Welcome back to the Human Algorithm Podcast. Today's guest is someone that I've been excited to talk to for so long because she embodies so many of the themes we try to uncover here on this podcast, like the intersection of creativity, identity, resilience, and what it means to thrive in a world that doesn't always make space for people who think differently. She might be judging how I do this right now because she's a voiceover artist, a host, an actress, and a content creator, and most recently, a business owner. We'll get into that later. But I'm very excited to welcome today Caitanya Tan. Did I get it right?
No.
Oh shit.
It's okay. Most people don't. It's
a
fine.
very complicated...
It's Kate of all trades.
Yes, okay.
And you can call me Kate.
Yeah, okay. But there's a whole story behind the name, but we'll get into that off camera. But at the same time, we want to talk a lot about how you run your business, but also around your ADHD, which is very close to my heart because I have a neurodiverse daughter as well. So I'm very excited to start this conversation with you. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so maybe...
Just so I can clarify, what are your pronouns?
He, she, they.
Okay.
Any.
If I get it wrong, please forgive me, okay?
No worries.
Okay. I'm still learning.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for asking.
No, of course.
So even though you have thousands of followers on social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, but what's something that people don't really know about you?
I think some people don't know that I started as an actress first. My entire hyper-focus is being an actress and then everything else is how do I make money so I can sustain auditioning without booking gigs? Because you audition for 100, you get one, you know?
Yeah.
You have to find a way to live in extremely expensive Singapore and continue to live your dreams. So I think, that's one of the things that a lot of people
Was becoming like a celebrity of your goal, like a main actress?
No, but I knew, and this was in musical theatre school. I did a bachelor's degree in musical theatre, and in musical theatre school, one of my teachers said, they can't hire you if they don't know you exist. And so I had to make sure people knew I exist.
That was pre-TikTok, right? Pre-TikTok.
And then you like.
Then how do you make people know that you exist?
I mean, agencies, and stuff like that. You got to go for auditions, and even the ones you don't think that you'll get, right? Because you're like, you don't fit the brief. You look at the brief and you're like, they're not looking for this, but I just gotta like get thick skin and just, I feel like that's how you really develop the thick skin, is that you just go. And then after a certain point, you're just like, just go lah. What's the worst that could happen? They say no. They've said it. They've said no many times before.
Yeah.
So what changes is if they say yes lah. So then it becomes a numbers game.
So you keep going until they say yes.
You just keep going until they say yes. Yeah.
Okay, I want to start with something that is very personal to you, and you have spoken a lot about it on your TikTok, on your Instagram as well, which is your ADHD, right? And you have previously mentioned that it's your superpower, right?
Yeah.
And I believe it's something a lot of neurodiverse people say as well. But when do you first realize that this part of you wasn't a challenge to manage, but actually a strength that you want to embrace?
I don't actually ever think I knew until maybe last year. So the story goes like this. My brother, my titi, who is a musician, was sending me back in his car. And as I was about to get out of the car, I said, hey, titi, do you think you are, ADHD? Do you have ADHD? And he's like, huh? Why do you ask that? I said, because I think I have ADHD, and I read that it is genetic, and I read that your siblings could have it as well. But do you ever have, do you ever wonder, right? And he's like, no, I've always wondered. So, if I didn't bring it up, then I wouldn't have known that my brother has also always wondered, and is also actually at that point about to get his first appointment with a psychiatrist. And so I said, hey, I need this number of this doctor. So I just booked it and I found out I do have ADHD.
Yeah. I didn't realize that ADHD, neurodiversity in general, it's genetic. Like even autism as well. And
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Because I was as I was researching I was watching your video as part
Yeah.
of my research, right? And it just hit me because when my daughter was diagnosed last year, we thought it was our fault. We thought that we didn't do enough, or we didn't was it something that we did wrong to that she had this developmental delay with the very high possibility of autism, right? So I didn't realize that it was genetic. But when I watched your video, then I realized that, you know what, on my dad's side, like one of my relatives is on the spectrum. And it kind of skipped a generation to, impact my daughter, right? And I was actually talking to someone earlier just now as well, who was just recently diagnosed as well and all that. And yeah, in her family, there's family history as well, and it skipped a generation and it hit her. So it's very interesting.
And you're talking about autism, not ADHD.
Autism, ADHD,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah, because when people say neurospicy, right? I like that term, neurospicy, because it makes it like fun.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Because anything without spice is cardboard to me.
Yeah.
Being a Southeast Asian. So like, no, but sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
It's an ADHD thing where you like think ahead of people, then you're like, no, I already know what they're going to say, then you reply, but so I have to catch myself. So this is one of those things that I realize that I do by accident because I get excited about the conversation. And then I have to go, sorry, I interrupted you. Please continue, right? Yeah, so it's really helpful to know, because otherwise you don't know why when some people say, why you keep interrupting me? I'm like, am I? I didn't even notice, like I was just excited about something you said, right?
Yeah. Staying on that, like, did you realize at any point when you were younger, especially growing up in Singapore, right, like in school or as a teenager, do you felt like you already knew that you're neurodiverse in that sense?
No idea. I wasn't doing poorly at school in particular. I just did not know. Like none of it was, I don't know what the symptoms are. I lost things like, I guess a normal kid would lose things when they get excited, play at the playground and leave the bag, then like something dropped out of the bag and you run home, then get scolded lah. Same thing lah. But I never really noticed anything else.
But did anybody like what just happened, right? Like, you interrupted me. Like, did anybody like call you out for that, or
for losing things a lot,
or interrupting conversations? Or
I mean, yeah lah, of course lah. That's why I brought it up, because that was like one of the things that I was like, when I get excited, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, let's talk about this, right? Like, and then if we're not on the same page, that's when it kind of gets like confusing for the other person, I suppose, yeah, because they wouldn't do that, or they were taught not to do that. But again, right, I think to that point, I want to say, oh, sorry, I kicked the table.
It's okay.
My leg was itchy, I had to scratch it. To that point, I want to say that I think what I noticed more than anything, more than, oh, maybe I have ADHD or something, was tribe, finding people that accepted you for who you are, and whom you accepted as well. Because I generally was okay with everybody. Like I was like, oh, okay lor. But I think the offense was taken towards me, right? They were taking offense to what I was doing or not doing that was normal for neurotypicals to do, right?
Yeah.
And I thought I was crazy for a period of time until I met some people, and I was like obviously iffy about the friendship. I'm like scared. I'm like, fuck, what if they reject me when I'm myself, But they didn't. In fact, they enabled me, right? And then you realize, wow, there's a group of people that they just accept you. And then you go back out there, and then there are other groups of people who are like, why is she so weird? So now when people say I'm weird, I'm like, thanks. Because I know there's a bunch of people out there that some people will consider weird who will accept my weird. So the one quote that comes to mind is, the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind.
I love that.
I love it too. And yeah, it's actually helped me to regulate, because if, the moment I sense, and we sense, as a neurodivergent person, I sense a lot. As an actress, job hazard, I also sense people, right? But coupled with the neurodivergence, the ADHD, when I sense the room is like when I don't feel comfortable there, it's not something I need to negate. It's not a space I need to try and fit into. It's a space I need to remain respectful of and then leave. Right? If they invite again, I'll just politely say, oh, thank you, but I have swimming pool.
Yes, what? Sorry?
It makes no sense. But like give excuse lah.
But yeah, I don't know, you are actress, you are host, you are multi-hyphenate, you do so many things. Do you think that part of your neurodiversity help your creativity in that sense? Like it enable you to handle so many things at one time?
Yeah, I think so. I really think so. And I think someone once said like, a lot of things just flooded through my head, okay, because ADHD. But one of the things that I notice is that I'm very good at strategizing. Strategizing content, strategizing business, strategizing things that require strategizing lah. Because we connect the dots very well. We see something and then, before someone else can tell us what they need, I'm like, oh, actually, these two things go together very well. And they do, so I've been implementing that on my content. I've been implementing that on client collaborations, and they worked extremely well. And this is all because I discovered I was neurodivergent last year. And so I ended up just leaning into it.
Yeah.
Right? Just going, all right, if that's my strength, let's see what can come out of knowing this. Rather than, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. Like, words have power, right?
Yeah.
Self-talk is very important, right? And in a world where people feel so free to tell you who they think you are, you have to be louder than them in your own head about who you actually are.
Yes, girl. We talk a little bit about the other side of ADHD a little bit, right? But there's also the burnout, there's the anxiety as well, and the brain that never really switches off. Do you experience that, and how do you take care of your mental health?
I love that question. I get asked this question a lot, particularly by one of my teammates who is neurotypical, and she's like, how do you not stop? Right? And I say, I don't expect you to not stop. I expect you to tell me when you need to stop, because I know it's not normal. As in, when I say that, it's not a derogatory. I don't mean to degrade myself. I'm saying like, this is not regular for some people. This is not real life for them lah. It's real life for me. Burnouts happen, but actually my burnouts take very, very, very long to happen, because to be honest with you, and I think it ties into your previous question, which I actually didn't answer because ADHD, but I think my upbringing really helped me be so multifaceted and accept my multifacetedness. That's not a word. Or, become a multi-hyphenate, because my dad always told me to only do what you love. And I suspect my dad is also on the spectrum. And that worked for him, which is why parents tell you things that have worked for them. And so what I'm suspecting is that my dad is neurodivergent and that worked for him. And so he told me to do that, right? And so I'm like, okay, only do what you love became my metric. And I love so many things. And so I only did those things because I loved them. And because I love them, the burnout takes very long to happen, because it gives me variety, right? Because I guess the oversimplification is that the prefrontal cortex does not produce a steady flow of dopamine. And that's why we look for excitable things that keeps us excited, which means if you link it again, strategizing, connecting the dots, back to what my dad said about only do what you love, it fires the dopamine every single time. I find something I want to do, I do it. And then I get bored, I find another thing I do and I do. It's dopamine hit after dopamine hit. And if the ADHD brain doesn't have that, and this is what we have to do, then I think I'm channeling it into the best things, right? It's not like, And the thing is, I recognize the privilege that comes with having a dad that enabled me to do that. And so, to link both questions together and finally conclude and wrap it up before you move to the next question, this is another thing I've been practicing. Yes, I take a while to burn out because I'm always doing one thing after another that I love. Imagine if you're doing that with the things that you love, whatever that is. If you're just doing enjoyable things, things you consider.
Focus, right?
Yeah. Laser focus, hyper focus on the things you enjoy back to back. That's what I'm doing as an ADHD person who has learned to I guess zone in on the things that she loves and makes a career out of it.
Have you reached that point of burnout before? And how do you deal with it?
Yes, I bought a one-way ticket to Japan. I don't know if you saw the series on TikTok.
Oh, I didn't know that was why you bought a ticket though.
Yeah, I think it was the first line, but everybody hear Japan and they're like, ooh, I want to see Japan, but they forget to hear the part where I burnt out. Yeah, I bought a one-way ticket to Japan because of a burnout, and basically just traveled and did content. And I think some people said, you burn out, you still do content, but they don't understand. If I was doing 10 things and now I'm only doing one thing, this is easy for me. Right? Creating content is like a creative outlet for me. I love telling stories.
When you went to Japan, you did that like the series, right? Like it felt like you felt like you were recovering from the burnout.
Yes.
Wow.
Creativity is what drives me, man. It gives me such catharsis. Like I don't know where people channel their their frustrations or what. Some people go to the gym. I do this every morning, so it becomes normal for me. But creative outlets, that's my favorites. Like if I'm sad, I write a song. I have like a bunch of unwritten, unfinished, unproduced songs, in my phone or in some book somewhere. But like that's what I do. I channel my sadness into creative outlets. All creative outlets.
Do you
What's going through your head right
no,
now?
I was just
You're
thinking,
like nodding
like,
and thinking.
do you just sing or do you write songs as well?
I write songs. Yeah,
Okay.
I write songs because I like words, right?
Yeah.
I like poetry. I grew up in a music family, right? Musical family.
Yeah.
And like, it's just second nature to me. I won't claim to be a musician or like a singer because like I know the level that I expect to be at to be able to call myself that. So it keeps me humble. But I mean, I'm learning a little bit of deluluness and audacity from the next generation. They're good. I'm learning from them. I enjoy watching them say no without remorse. I'm like, I need to learn.
Staying on that line of creativity, right?
Yeah.
You recently started a new company called Pointy Rice.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it feels more than a brand, right? It feels like something that is ingrained in every Singaporean life. And I think we did the impromptu Instagram live last week where we talked about Cai Fan, and I remember telling you that I grew up calling it yummy rice because it was so yummy.
Yeah.
So I would tell my parents I want to eat yummy rice,
It's
yummy
so
rice.
cute.
But what inspired you to settle on Cai Fan and not like Hokkien Mee or prawn noodles?
A very good question. And I'll tell you why. As a human being, I felt like I was left off center all my life. Don't know why, but just a little bit different. And I think, you know what? Everyone's a little bit different, right? I've never listened to Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera. My dad gave me a cassette for Tracy Chapman and Suzanne Vega. So I was being made fun of for listening to that instead, right? All the weird questions would come and I never knew how to answer them other than, I like lah. But I think what that's taught me is that it's okay to be different. You're not being different for being different's sake, like some people want to think. You're being different because you're just being yourself. And if you are being authentically yourself, you are likely to be different than everybody else. And so when I missed Cai Fan on one of my many work trips as either a host or a voiceover artist or an actress, I started drawing Cai Fan dishes. and I wanted to look for merchandise,
Oh yeah.
but they don't exist.
This is the merchandise.
Oh, that's the latest one.
Yeah, I bought your first pop-up.
Yes,
I was gonna
thank you
bring it
so much
today, but
for the support.
I bought it. This is
Yeah,
beautiful.
how we've grown. I'm like, I don't even know how to feel or express this, but like it's an ongoing journey. But like, you know, back to what we were the topic that we were on. I feel like when everyone has done a thing, it loses its magic to me. I want to discover the things that haven't been done. And when I discovered that was cai fan, my utmost favorite dish, the thing I always go and eat once I come back from a 3 month trip somewhere, I need to eat cai fan, you know? And so it's very on brand for me as a human being, but it's also very, to me, I like to celebrate the underdog because there are so many unsung heroes and cai fan is one of them, you know? The STV and Singapore government plugged all the, you know, laksa and nasi lemak. And nasi lemak is our neighbour's national dish, walao.
Oh, controversial.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, it's not that they don't have zap fan. They also have zap fan, right? They also have cai fan, their version. But like, for me, it was the thing I ate growing up. You know, it's the 3-dish san cai yi tang on your mother's table, you know.
Yeah.
But store version, if your mother don't have time to cook for you, then she go and buy the cai fan for you, right? It really is not just nostalgic. It's something that we all grew up eating. And why does it not get as much recognition as laksa, satay, I guess nasi lemak, right? So I thought I wanted something just for us.
Where's your favorite cai fan store?
Wow, so many, but I currently like the one at BK Eating House. The
BK
line very
Eating
long
House.
one, yeah. I always
The
come
Book Key
off
one?
Book Key one, yeah. Yeah.
My favorite is, and in the CBD, I think the cheapest. I haven't found any cheaper.
Oh, you eat cai fan for cheap, ah?
Yeah.
You know, eat cheap doesn't mean good, leh. Sometimes
No.
it's like dry.
No, it's not just cheap. I mean affordable.
Okay, but why do you like cai fan, yummy rice?
I mean, when I have no idea what to eat,
It's got so many, right? It's like,
it's like
just choose
all the dishes there. It's
Yeah.
like everything is
Yeah.
there, and I can just get it. But as I was saying, my favorite one is in Maxwell because it's like two meat, one veggie, one egg. It's $5, $5.80.
Wow.
It's hard to get that in the
It
CBD.
is true. How about the one at like Tanjong Pagar hawker center?
Oh, I never walked until there,
Recently-
but because
I recently
my
went
gym
there.
is right beside
Right.
Maxwell.
Makes sense.
So
makes sense.
Maxwell is also because of the area in Chinatown where it is, so more affordable for the low income or for the elderly
Oh,
people.
right.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I like to eat cai fan?
Yeah.
Because it got a lot of vegetables.
You like veggie?
I love vegetables, yeah.
Which one? Brinjal?
I like
Cauliflower.
all vegetables. And then when I order kali Thai, I will tell the uncle 不要 kali, then he will look at me weird. But like I want the flavor, but I don't want it to drench my rice. Oh, are you a wet or dry rice kind of person?
Well, I cannot have wet.
Me also.
I cannot have wet.
Wait, we should ask people, are you a wet or dry rice kind of person?
I cannot.
Because I don't link kali 汁 one eh.
I link curry 汁 I say 一点点.
Yeah.
If you pour over, right,
I'm
then
like-
I get fucking pissed.
I'm like, it's now messy.
And like people tap up for me, right? I say 汁 little bit, right? And then if I open the box, right, and it's
Because
wet,
everything
right?
already wet eh.
Yeah, like wow, sian, I don't want to eat anymore.
Yeah.
No feeling.
Yeah, every time they pick something, I'm like, 我不要吃, because they will put 汁, a lot of people want the 汁,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm like, why? Then your rice cannot stick together, then your rice falls apart,
Yeah.
and it's all gloopy. You eating rice or you eating porridge?
Sidetrack a little bit.
I already sidetracked, sorry.
Is vegetables or vegetables?
I like to say words wrong. Like, because
I thought I got it wrong.
No, I thank you for picking that up. Like, yeah,
because
it's
you're
one
the
of the...
expert, what? You always
No
correcting
lah.
people.
Okay, the
on-
other thing that I want people to know about me that a lot of people don't know is that I get things wrong too.
Okay.
You know, nobody knows everything about everything. And I don't ever claim to know. Like, I will deep dive in something, then I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. I'm going to make a video and share it with people, right? Because I'm like, I just read up for 4 hours.
Your
I just
ADHD.
hyper-focused for 4 hours. I might as well put it into a video, right?
Yeah.
So I do that. I wake up at 5 a.m. because my brain just wakes
I'm
me up.
actually like that a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Like when I watch a show, right, or when there's a like an incident happen in real life or what, then I will deep dive into it.
Yeah.
I'll go into Wikipedia, then by half an hour later, I'm linking to pages, and then I'm like, I need to get on with my life.
No, it's true. I research a lot. And now we chat GPT, right? But then it
Perplexity.
hallucinates.
Get
so
perplexity.
like, okay, I will. I trust you. Yeah, but you know, like deep diving is so fun.
Yes.
It's high fun. It's now the running joke, sorry. But yes, it's vegetables, not vegetables. But I say that the same way I say nougat instead of nugget.
Okay.
Because it's funny to me.
Okay.
Because I have to say the right words all the time. That the best way to make fun of something is to say
You
it
made me
wrong.
doubt myself, you know. I was like,
Sorry.
did I pronounce it wrong? Did I pronounce
No, don't doubt
vegetables?
yourself. Never doubt yourself. Always say it wrong with the audacity of a straight white male. Someone's gonna have something to say about that. You know that, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Not all men, okay? Not all men.
Coming back to Pointy Rice. Coming back to Pointy Rice.
Yes.
You recently had a big hoo-ha that kind of, you know, raise your brand awareness as well.
What do you mean?
Like the Uniqlo situation.
Oh, my ADHD brain forgot it.
Like the Uniqlo situation. Okay, we don't want to get into the nitty-gritty details of the Uniqlo situation.
Yeah.
Even though it made the mainstream press, you can go and read about it. But I think, you know, one thing that I came across recently is the grades copy each other. Like, for example, like you see like Walmart, how Walmart became so big was the founder went around different stores, pick what